Welcome to Innovation Dialogue. I'm Diana Ding. And today we're with Tim Chang, and he's an upcoming fine art photographer. Hi, Tim. How are you?
Hi, Diana. Great to be here.
Yes, great. Yes. Let me give a short introduction about Tim Chang. Tim Chang was born in Hong Kong and grown up internationally in Jamaica, Miami, and now in Silicon Valley. His photography artworks to incorporate all the cultural and artistic elements of those cities. And Tim focused on the nature world with new perspective and engaging content for both the United States and Chinese diaspora internationally. So Tim, is so excited to have you. You are so talented. I looked at your website. It's very inspiring. You have lived in many places in the whole world. So which location or which country are you always excited to work in?
Well, Diana, I'm glad to be here. It's an honor to be on your show. To answer that question, my favorite location is always the next one. So I'm always excited after I've come back from a trip and I'm analyzing all my photos to go start planning for the next one. So it's always the next one to work on.
So always the next one. Wow, that's give us mystery of thinking about what is the next one.
I would say I like to return back to Asia now that the COVID crisis is winding down. I hope to capture perhaps some of the treasured sites and also undiscovered sites in perhaps China, in Hong Kong and other parts of Asia.
Only people who have this beautiful landscape and beautiful world in your heart, you can capture that beautiful moment. I see the wild animals and landscape of your photography. So would you call yourself a wildlife photographer or a landscape photographer?
So yeah, Diana, so that's there's certainly a lot of super good wildlife photographer, and that's what they do all day. They might even be living in Africa, and there are those who focus on obviously landscape. But what I try to do, what's being shown right now is my small portfolio called Landscapes of the American West.
And what I see that this pro photographer really look like a oil painting.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's actually just an hour and a half, Big Sur. And what I wanted to convey with this is to say that we have this dynamic, beautiful shoreline all up and down the California coast. And that's, fits along with capturing all the beauty in full color. I know a lot of us are very familiar with Ansel Adams and black and white, and he was able to do so much with so little. But now that we have more modern tools and more color and more vibrancy, I wanted to capture the energy and the wind and the power and also, the long timeline that this shoreline was probably existing. Likewise, for this is called Beware of the Shark Fin Cove, which is really down by Santa Cruz. Again, it's been shaped from millions of years. You can see there are people and the size of the people in the picture. It really makes you feel alive. And that's what I want to bring and inspire many of us in the Chinese diaspora, that there's just a beautiful coast, not only coastline, but also in the next picture, as you can see, this is a picture I call Secret Journey. It's not only being able to incorporate the outside world, but also like these two travelers in the middle of the picture, they are doing their journey, whatever it is, to discover perhaps more of the desert. Maybe you're thinking along on philosophical things or of your family. So that's what I want to create, that within the viewer's mind, is that art. So the art that I want to portray, but then the viewer is really creating a second version of the art within their minds.
second version of the art. When I was looking at your picture, I can almost feel the movement, the wind, and also the wave of the sea. It's truly dynamic. So when you were there capturing this moment, what was on your mind?
Well, my mind was I wanted to capture the sunset before it goes away. So a photographer has to think technical ideas, but you wanted to capture the motion of the moment, like the sunlight is coming down. I'm sure, this same evening in many ways has happened for millions of evenings, but in a way that evening was also very unique. The wave is only going to happen hitting that rock in a certain way for just today. Maybe tomorrow it was slightly different. So there's all these contradicting ideas and contradicting emotions, but the sum total is the beauty of that location, the beauty of that evening, the beauty of that emotion that you, the viewer, catches. I'm glad I was able to convey a little bit of that to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. You did capture the moment, give people a different perspective. They can almost feel the wind, and they can almost hear the sound. That's fantastic. So as a Chinese American who grown up in different places, what is it like to be a Chinese American photographer?
Well, I think we're all building the whole diaspora. There's certainly many talented people in the world. And a while ago, you had asked me whether I consider myself wildlife or whether I'm a landscape photographer. I think we fall under probably a much bigger goal of being, I would say, art photography. And an art photography is not trying to be a documentary photographer, right? We're not trying to be super realistic, but we're trying to say with our art, with our photography, is to convey the emotion, convey the special moments. And that's been something that we don't see a lot as, in the Chinese diaspora. We're all, focused on the engineer aspect, the VC, trying to do our startup. But there's something to be said that we can pursue a lot more in the arts. We can have within the Chinese diaspora talented people that can rise to be like the next David Yarrow, who's a very famous wildlife photographer, or we can be like Ansel Adams, who, as you know, is a very famous, landscape photographer. And what I try to do is I'm not trying to fly around the world, but maybe let's capture, at least in that project, the American West project, is, natively or locally, can I drive somewhere that's an hour away and capture the beauty? And certainly Big Sur, all the way from LA, all the way up to San Francisco, provides a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Looking at your picture, actually, two of the pictures, the place I've been there, but I didn't really notice that beautiful moment. After looking at your picture, I decided to go there again to feel that moment from your picture. So that's a fine art photographer, right?
Yes, definitely. It's
Yes.
making you see new things. It's sort of like Picasso, why does he paint the eyes in a different way? He paints them upward so that you will notice the face a lot more. So it's basically making you, change your perspective on what you're watching.
So I would say, not only capture the moment, but also creating the art, right?
Absolutely. And again, the philosophy of creating the art twice. I created it in my view. And then when you, the viewer, sees it, you are creating it a second time with your own emotions. Some people may see it, oh, it's just a beautiful evening. Some of it may say, oh, it reminded me of a beautiful dinner with a certain person or certain family. So everybody will have their art within their mind, a second creation, so to speak.
Yes, wonderful. It sounds like an abstract art. Everyone can have their own interpretations with their own life experience.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Yes, I visited your website and I saw so many great work there. But I see on your front page you mentioned that right now I'm working on an exciting project. So, what is your exciting project?
Thanks. So I just came back from Africa, not a usual, destination for many people, but I was on safari and I wanted to explore the wildlife aspect. So it's obviously a natural growth from just landscape. I wanted to say there are all these amazing animals out there that are living completely in the wild. I know we see them in zoos, but we don't see them in the natural habitat.
Wow,
So
look at this one. Seems like you are taking this picture in a very close distance, right?
yeah, did you know that this leopard that's having dinner was
Wow,
actually about, I would say, 4 or 5 meters away from me
five
in
meters.
the Jeep.
Wow. Were you scared? Because that's so close, right? Could be dangerous.
I'm glad the animals don't know any better. So here I am in the Jeep. There's no protection. There's no really windows. Basically it's an open air Jeep, and I'm just looking as if I would look across the room to someone and being able to take the picture and capture that moment of his or her dinner. So it was an amazing experience.
So this one, where's this picture from?
Right. So if anyone ever loves elephants, the place to be is in Amboseli in Kenya.
Oh,
Amboseli, there's only about 20 of these elephants in the world, where the tusks are so long that it literally almost touches the ground. So he and his cousins are fortunately being able to be protected. And likewise, I was similarly probably about 4 or 5 meters away in my Jeep, and he's actually literally staring at me for about a good minute. So it's a feeling of excitement inside myself, but also there's that trepidation that he's going to attack the Jeep or not.
no.
But
So when this elephant was there at you, what message you read from his eyes?
I think he's trying to see that whether I am a threat or not a threat. And hopefully we prove to be not a threat in his mind. And I'm just busy trying to get the best shot as possible. I have multiple cameras, one for short distance, medium, and long distance. So obviously I was scrambling more to get the shorter ones. So with these elephants, you know, the bigger picture of elephants is that there used to be in millions of elephants in Africa. Now that, sadly has been decreased to only barely, 500,000 or less. Now, the good news is that they're slowly coming back. A baby elephant, however, takes 2 years to be born. So they're not going to, rise up overnight. Whereas a baby lion or a baby tiger, well, lions are only in Africa. A baby lion will just take 3 months. And so their population grows quite easily. Now, with the ivory trade, that has, really been boosted a lot. Many nations, including China especially, has banned ivory trading, and they banned it back in December '97. So that has really been a positive progress. I would say what we can do individually is to not support the ivory trade. I'm not going to name any countries right now, but certain southern, not China, but certain southern Asian countries, you can still buy, earring or something with little pieces of ivory. So I would say let's be aware of what we're impacting. And so this is the end of the day, the end of our one day, where elephants, they just like to walk across the plains back and forth. And it's usually the women. So elephants, as a social community, are generally the women, the grandmother, the aunts, the moms, and the baby elephants. The men, the male elephants are usually doing their own thing, or they might be at the tail end, trying to meet a girlfriend or something. But usually it's all female walking back and forth the plains, and it's the end of a beautiful day. And
Oh,
I was lucky to catch it.
this one is really give us I would say a story. This one did tell a story. You just can imagine a family with female elephants walking down in the sunset. It's a very beautiful picture. I'm so touched by this one.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, they're
Well,
very
you
maternal,
have,
they're very family-oriented elephants.
yes, exactly. You haven't talked about your project. So what's your project?
So the project, what I am exploring is also a new avenue, and it's around basically taking the landscapes of the West, the ones that you saw with Big Sur, and being able to explore it as an NFT. So an NFT is basically not only, you would buy a Mona Lisa, it's one of a kind, but what if that painting or that photograph is more of a intangible, that when they own a particular picture online, they are the true owner. Yes, you can make copies of it, and that's a separate issue. Anybody can enjoy it, but the true owner can only be one, or it could be a smaller list of 5 to 10 owners. So what I have done, I have taken a very small subset of my best pictures of the American West and converted them as NFTs. They're very reasonably priced, and I put them on OpenSea. I'll show you the link later on, but definitely that would be something for collectors and everyone to look into, and they would truly be the only owner of those pictures, whether it is the one with the shark fin in the cove, whether it is the one with the big surf waves crashing. So that's a way of getting it, yes.
So that's your secret next project. Sounds really exciting. So we have information on the screen. So anyone resonate what Tim just shared today and can check his website, Instagram, and connect him on the social media. We're so fortunate to have Tim today shared with us about his fine art photography. Thank you very much, Tim, and looking forward to talk to you again.
It was a pleasure, Diana. Thank you for today.
Thank you.